So I'm making a video log. Today's Wednesday. I believe it's October 21st. Today I'd like to discuss with you, I'll give you more details as far as my son and me being isolated from my spouse and my son. And it's like an isolation to where it's all done through paperwork and all. And I'll discuss that with you, and that is literally theft under the eyes of the Creator. But more importantly, today's topic, I would like to discuss the dying world, because this world is dying, and death and decay is everywhere. It's very apparent. Everything needs to consume. The mountains are getting plundered. Yes, nothing is being replaced. No. And there's many types of species of, ocean species of fish and land creatures that have been pretty much gone extinct. And pretty much things are dying. We see that trash is everywhere. We don't believe in this old paradigm, actually. And it shows. So I would like to discuss about the dying world, and it's like an equation. Like if you look at the problems, there's a cause and effect. You'll have to see that when there is one thing, it will lead to another. So something has to come about from this situation that I call the dying world. And have you, as my audience, thought that this world is literally dying everywhere? Have you noticed anything? Or are you participating right now in commerce to get by, to put your food on the table and a roof over your head, as they all claim? The famous saying goes. So we all actually partook in that. And we were all born pretty much into a system of commerce where we were written up as a certificate. And United States is actually registered as a corporation, just like a McDonald's or a Walmart will be. So everyone who was born here got a certificate was written up as a pretty much like an employee of this corporation. And this is how something that is breathing, that comes in from the Creator, that is in the flesh, like I am, is stolen. And this goes back to the system of making paperwork and accounting for everything. And remember that they started stealing people's genetics. Pretty much means like stealing their offspring, like via paperwork and all. So making the mother and father of the baby be just the guardians or a babysitter because of all this paperwork. And then the ones who have the paperwork written up, because anything that is registered is like you need to ask permission for. That is what it is. So pretty much the government being in the position of a beneficiary to your baby. And that is what it is. So anytime they hold paperwork, they actually have an advantage over you. And this is how a trickery was created. Because English, again, I want to also discuss the English language. Because English is the language of trickery, deceit. It's a masonic language of the occults. Black magic. There's lots of trickery words. Especially when they started creating the English language, which is actually related to German and all Western European languages. They were actually stemmed out of ancient Egypt, because their mother's their mother's language for Western Europeans comes from the Sanskrit family, which is related to all Eastern European languages. So in that case, our ancestral sisters that were taken down to Egypt, they spoke a Slavic language, and they used a lot of the words from Slavic language in English. Like you've noticed probably sat, sit, lay, lash, stand, stan, like, and it goes on. And then there's trickery words, like they have like the same word for something, but it's opposite meanings, meaning the word got smeared in the process. So, but English is a language of black magic too, because there's many words that if you say in a courtroom, for instance, or to any one of them that holds some sort of badge and they think they can sit on the heads of others, which they cannot. They know they cannot, but they trick you into thinking that they can, because they have an army at their side of flying monkeys with weapons. And the Creator never intended this for His creation. The Creator of Mother Earth, whatever culture gives the name, like every culture calls him differently, so never mind that. But I just want to make it very broad. He never intended others to do this to his creation, and it's very obvious. It's just gone on way too long, and this is the dying world. And the dying world has been dying for a very long time. We've actually all been born into it, but now it's just kind of speed up. And it's speed up a lot to where we're at a timeline where things are going on, and there is a theater being set in place, because something cannot go on forever. Like I said, every mountain cannot be plundered indefinitely. So, things need to be replenished, regrown. And like I said, everything is being sprayed. There's the organic life is really non-existent. I think there's only, they say 1% of American farmlands are officially labeled organic here in the U.S. But still, so many land here is decay and dying. But since we are breathing, we need to still replenish ourselves with food and the Creator's warmth of light each morning. And so we need to still kind of replenish ourselves, even though we live in this paradigm. But this paradigm, something has to give, and that is the moral that I wanted to share with the overall problem that we see, that something has to give, and it cannot go on indefinitely and forever. Things are constantly being consumed, and we are not an on-demand economy. Let me share with everyone that this is not an on-demand economy, because on-demand economies, like you need some trees for your house or for your firewood, you go and cut it down. But right now they cut down entire forests, and they do that just to have it sit around for market, which is really like the market now is based on what I call a keeping up with the Joneses economy. Yes, that is true. The market is based on that. And it's all about, if you know anything about that, is Mr. Jones, your neighbor, gets like this shiny new car, and then you need to outshine him with that, and then he gets this, and you want to outdo him with that. So this is how the economy is now set up. We need the next model car after this one expires, because everything is meant to die. Nothing is meant to if you notice the quality of our products on the market now, it's a lot of it is meant to be broken after some time, because they want you to constantly buy and be in this like little rat race, like rats on cheese everyone is. get you addicted to the next latest thing, keeping up with the Joneses economy, like I said, and then off you go to work, make that money. And nothing wrong with having theater prompts for your existence. For when I say by that is theater prompts really is things that we need to live to survive by, like I have this right here, and theater prompt for my life. No, for my reality, because again, the English language is the language of trickery and deceit, the language of the occults, and the L words always go back to the Lucifer word, because the Masons, they love to use that word. Like luck or lifeline, that one is obvious, or law or light, that's part of their language. So the Nazis actually worked on this technology here after the war. They brought all these scientists here to Arizona, New Mexico, and they worked on this mind control technology to where you can pretty much say things, like especially in the English language, and it's like a giant Surrey system where it picks up even your thought process and your anything you say, and you can say it in your basement and all, but this works at the speed of light because everything is based through frequency. So they pick it up, and in that case, they can cause you all sorts of grief in your life. If you say certain wording, they'll arrange certain unpleasant events in your life, or whatever. But this is part of their mind control technology that they worked on. I think it was called Project Paperclip, or MK Ultra. Yeah, that one. But they put a, let's just say, a grid over Earth, and there is an interesting channel that I can link below that talks about this giant technological grid over the Earth that is like a stimulated computer where everyone is kind of attached to, and it controls all our lives, and it draws from our energy. And there has been movies that have been made about it, like called The Matrix and all, but I don't want to discuss that movie. And they always put giant chemtrails over my head. I'm kind of used to that by now. I've seen zigzag chemtrails over my head. I've seen chemtrails over my car, and my car only, even though I might be parked in the wilderness. And since I've been traveling across the U.S., it followed, because I've traveled like in wilderness areas. I know everyone thinks I'm crazy, but the other stalking events are real. When I get vandalized, those are real. And there's, let's just say, every time I let my guard down, something unimaginable happens. But again, this giant stimulated computer controls our very emotions, because us as humans, we're down to like 2 DNA activated active DNA strands now in our bodies. Like the rest, science calls junk DNA, but actually it's not junk. Our DNA is actually like emotions. And we have a lot of emotions that we have yet to experience. And that's why humans like to take maybe psychoactive mushrooms, or do some sort of Amazon tea to experience those emotions that they've never were able to see. Because us as humans now are lacking more and more emotions than ever. That's why many humans have